What's going on, you guys? Welcome to Beyond the Biomarkers. Fire it up. What's up, y'all? I'm your host, Kerri Rachelle, Doctor of Integrative Medicine candidate, registered dietitian, functional medicine practitioner, expert witness, and yoga teacher with a gift of psychic medical intuition. I've dedicated my career to uncovering the root causes of symptoms and diseases, pushing beyond conventional pathways to health. In each episode, we dive into the hard data of health metrics and pair it with the subtle whispers of your soul. This podcast is your toolkit for transforming health and embracing happiness. Together, we explore rigorous medical research, decode the messages our bodies send us, and dive into our emotional landscapes. We're connecting the dots between nutrition, environment, and emotional health, blending scientific facts with intuitive wisdom to empower you with the knowledge to live your best life. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Biomarkers. Hey, this is episode number 2, and it's the place where we get real about health, peeling back the layers of what wellness truly means, and dive deeper than the conventional to explore the realms of medical intuition coupled with science-based evidence. I'm guiding you through the jungle of information and sometimes misinformation out there. Today, we're focusing on something so fundamental yet so overlooked. The two most critical aspects of wellness. That's right, we're talking about what we put into our bodies and, equally important, what we choose to keep around us on the outside of our bodies. Today, I want you guys to think about the question, are your choices enhancing your well-being or hindering it? So let's dive in. But, of course, before we take off, I want to remind you about the exciting news, the competition we're having featuring some truly stunning high-value swag bags. To enter, simply head over to Podcasts on Apple or Spotify, leave a rating, and write a review for this podcast. I'll be selecting the 10 best reviews, and the lucky winners will receive a swag bag delivered right to their doorstep. Oh, and for today's episode, I'm excited to provide you with a tool that masters the first essential element of today's topic, what we put into our bodies. I'm offering you a special gift, our simple nutrition guide and 14-day clean eating challenge, carefully crafted to revolutionize your approach to nutrition, which is the foundation of our well-being. This guide is brimming with mouth-watering recipes and a meticulously planned challenge focused on enriching your gut health. It's all about fostering habits that nourish your body, ensuring every meal brings you closer to the vibrant health you deserve. Eager to transform your approach to wellness from the inside out? Get on this opportunity by grabbing your free guide on our website at kerrirachelle.com/challenge. The link is in the show notes. All right, the show must go on. The two most critical aspects of wellness. Those two things are, number 1, what we put into our bodies, and number 2, what we choose to keep around us outside of our bodies. They are both daily choices. Now, there's more to life than food, but what we choose to put in our bodies on a daily basis absolutely matters. Of course, there is the 80-20 rule, which we hit on the last episode, but if you do the math on that, thinking about eating 3 meals a day, of course, there are caveats to this we'll discuss on another day, like implementing intermittent fasting, and why don't we want the 5 to 6 small meals fitness professionals boast? Well, it's because we don't want to continue spiking insulin levels. Insulin is, after all, our storage hormone. So if you continue to spike your insulin levels all day, you're basically telling your body to store a bunch of energy. Instead, we want to allow glucagon, which is another hormone, to work and mobilize fat stores to use fat for fuel more efficiently. I digress. If we have, on average, 3 meals a day, and there are 30 days a month, that means there's 90 meals a month, approximately. 20% of 90 is 18 meals. So that's 6 whole days a month. And for those of you who tuned in last week, follow up, I did do the math right in my head. Boom. So those 18 meals essentially can overall be less than perfect, right? That would follow that 80-20 rule. But think about what you're actually doing right now. Imagine your days the past week. Think about today even. Are you even getting 20% of your meals to be completely all real food? It's time to really start taking tally and paying attention. What we put in our bodies matters on a daily basis, and it is a choice. I like to say real foods are great choices. And what I mean by real food is organically raised meats, including organ meats, and sustainable fish. And then organic when possible, vegetables, fruits, squashes and tubers, foods grown under the ground. And then also fermented veggies without the sugar added. Oils like olive oil, avocado oil, macadamia nut oil, coconut oil, real butter from grass-fed cows. So for butter, that would be like Anchor butter or Kerrygold butter. Kerrygold is 90% grass-fed. A2 dairy products. So A2 gene, we'll save this for another day, but those are coming from cows that are Icelandic cows, brown Swiss cows, Guernsey or Jersey cows. And again, we'll talk about A2 milk on another day. And then also cultured dairy products, nuts, and seeds fall into that real foods category. Things to eat in moderation are things like farmed items like pseudograins, legumes, lentils, grains. These involve a lot of processing and chemicals to grow them properly. I really say ex-nay on baked goods, but I did start this off with there's more to life than food. So, every once in a while, that's great, okay? But overall, the majority of the time, baked goods, U.S. wheat products, soy products, peanut products. Oh my gosh, I do love some peanut butter. But personally, ex-nay the substances. Certainly don't ever walk into one of those smoke and vape stores. Enough said, right? Minimize the amount of alcohol you put in your body too. Are you drinking more than one glass of wine with dinner, say 5 nights a week? And rethink your desire and need for alcohol. Quick sneak peek while we're on the wine topic, I'm having a super special guest next month talk about life in Italy, and we'll be diving into the wine pours there, so stay tuned. Anyway, that gives you a start on what to put in your body 80% of the time or 100% of the time if you are sick, okay? Make sure you go over to the website and grab that 14-day Metabolic Reset Challenge with a 14-day meal plan and recipes. You're going to love it. So what else do we put in our bodies besides food? How about our thoughts, right? What we feed our bodies is critical, but equally important is the nourishment we provide our minds. Our thoughts, our beliefs, our attitudes, they weave the fabric of our reality. They profoundly influence our health and well-being. These sneaky little things can uplift us to new heights or weigh us down like anchors. Have you ever stopped to listen to the chatter inside your head? It's like a non-stop radio broadcast, and unfortunately, it's not always tuned to the most positive station. Negative self-talk and limiting beliefs are the junk food of the mind, serving no purpose other than to detract from our overall wellness and happiness. They can trigger stress responses, dampen our mood, and even impact our physical health. It's here that the practices of meditation, yoga, and theta healing shine as beacons of transformation. Meditation, for me, offers a pause button, a moment to step back and observe the whirlwind of thoughts without getting swept away. It teaches us to become the master of our minds rather than being at the mercy of every passing thought. Through meditation, we learn to cultivate a space of inner peace and clarity where positive affirmations can flourish, replacing those harsh, critical voices. Meditation also allows us to recognize that we can't control what's happening, but we can control how we react or whether you even react at all. Yoga, on the other hand, connects us to the wisdom of our bodies. It reminds us that mental and physical health are intrinsically linked. Each pose, each breath are an act of self-care, a way to silence the mind and honor our physical body. The past and the future are common sources of mental distress. Yoga teaches us presence, focusing on the here and the now. It is in this place where the future and the past hold absolutely no power. But the beauty of movement for wellness doesn't stop with yoga. Whether it's a brisk walk in nature, a breakout dance session, or a challenging climb up a rocky incline, any form of movement that resonates with you can have a similar grounding effect. These activities pull us into the present moment, a space where worries about tomorrow and regrets about yesterday lose their grip on our psyche. Incorporating movement into our lives serves as a powerful antidote to the sedentary lifestyle that dominates modern society. It's not just about physical fitness. It's about creating moments through the day to reconnect with ourselves. This connection illuminates the mind-body link, highlighting how our physical well-being is inseparable from our mental and emotional states. Theta healing goes even deeper. Theta healing meditations tap into the subconscious mind where many of our limiting beliefs are rooted. It's like having a deep conversation with the soul, uncovering and releasing those beliefs that no longer serve us. By accessing the theta brainwave state, we can facilitate profound emotional and spiritual healing, paving the way for new, empowering beliefs to take root. Now, we'll go more into this subject another day. It's so super cool. If you find yourself battling with thoughts that are anything but kind, it's time for some mental decluttering. Imagine packing up those limiting beliefs and sending them off with a firm, thank you, no way. Replace them with affirmations that celebrate your worth, your strength, and your potential. Remember, the mind is like a garden. Please be kind to yourself, tend to it with care, sow seeds of positivity, and then you'll watch as your life transforms. So next time those sneaky thoughts try to bring you down, remember, you have the tools to rewrite your inner narrative. Embrace meditation, yoga, or movement of any kind, and learn more about theta healing. Treat those as allies in your journey towards holistic health. After all, a healthy body houses a healthy mind, and together they create this vibrant, thriving essence of you. Now let's talk about outside of your body. Who and what you choose to keep in your life around you, but are on the outside of your body. This goes for our environment, where we live, who we surround ourselves with, the relationships we have, be it a partner, your family, your children, your friends, the music we listen to, the books we read, the podcasts we tune into, the news we read. All this external stuff we have chosen to keep in our lives. I like to tell my clients about all this external stuff. If you feel bogged down or like your life isn't focused on the right things or enough of the right things, then it's time to start looking at your life and evaluating what's working and what's not. And I'm not saying leave all your responsibilities behind and walk out of unimportant people in your life. No, there's a process for that when it comes to others and responsibilities. And it's not a good choice to intentionally hurt others. I feel like I have to say that. I'm sure you know that. And obviously, if you have children, they are your ultimate responsibility and priority. And next week, we have a special Mother's Day episode discussing raising authentic and emotionally intelligent children. So tune into that for a listen. What I mean, though, circling back, is by focusing on what truly matters and aligning our actions with our values, we can create a life that feels fulfilling and aligned with our authentic selves. So think about your commitments. Have you overcommitted? Do you have the ability to say no? When you close the door to a commitment that no longer resonates with you or never did, you make space for something better to come through. Trust the process. If you have things in your life that are not definite yeses, look deeper because then it's a no. Now thinking more physically about where our actual body dwells, our environment. Having a clean, uncluttered space is comforting for the mind. If your home is cluttered, your mind likely is cluttered. So it's time for some massive cleanup in both places. And the best place to start is your surroundings. And I don't know if this site still exists, but when I was 20, I had a coworker tell me about the Fly Lady, and she has this email list, and she sends you tips. Whenever she sends out her emails, they might be on a weekly schedule or something. But she helps people learn how to keep or get their spaces tidy. Now, I was raised in a very clean home, but still needed to learn this skill set for myself. The Fly Lady talked about never going to bed with a dirty kitchen sink and always lacing up your tennis shoes to start the next day. And now look, I don't wear tennis shoes often. I'm your wedges, tall boots, or some kind of sexy footwear girl. Likely, not the healthiest option, but we all have our non-negotiables, right? Anyway, she does all these cool 5-minute room cleanups where you set a timer and go. And that's how my son and I will clean sometimes. I'm like, 5-minute pickup, and we set a timer, and then we just roll with it. Of course, I don't infringe on his time if he's busy. I'm respectful of it and say, let's do a 5-minute pickup when you're done with, whatever. Another biggie for your environment is purposeful nesting. Why do we have the things we have? Do you just go shopping to go shopping? Or do the items you have a purpose, have a meaning, have some kind of connection, or somewhat planned? Even down to your cloth napkins for dinner. Now, it certainly makes you think before just wasting money on something because it seemed like a good idea at the time. My friend Scotty, she's a master at this, and she has promised to do an episode with me in June, and I can't wait for you to meet her. And now the other thing to think about as it relates to your environment is, and I don't say this lightly, look around. If you live in a water-damaged home with mold, or you have seen maybe places where it's lurking in the closet, or God forbid, black mold, you're putting your health at risk. I deal with a lot of patients who have toxic mold exposure and have a specific genetic haplotype, which is held by 24% of the population, who cannot properly clear mold from their bodies without the help of nutraceuticals for binding it and the proper protocol to flush them from your system. Do not overlook musty smells, water damage, mold growth in your home, and make sure you're changing your filters and have environmentally safe cleaning and personal products. Let's move on to other aspects of what we keep outside of our bodies. How about our relationships in our lives? Take a deep look at your life, your home environment, and the top 8 people you spend most of your time with. The top 8 people have such a huge impact on who you are, what you will emanate, and where you're going. So let's look a little bit deeper into this whole concept of the top 8 people in your life. Going back to imagining your life as a garden, right? These top 8 folks, they're like the main plants in your garden. They're going to influence the health, the beauty, and the overall vibe of your personal ecosystem more than anything else. This isn't just some whimsical idea. It's grounded in the reality that we are, in many ways, a reflection of the company we keep. Now, why 8, you might wonder? It's not a magic number, but doesn't it force you to think critically about who you're spending your precious time and energy with? These are the people who can either uplift you, challenge you in good ways, and inspire you to grow, or will do the opposite. They're the voices you hear most often, the attitudes you're exposed to, and the behaviors you see modeled day in and day out. Let's break it down. I'm going to talk about 4 different things. The mirror effect, we're going to talk about the growth factor, we're going to talk about the emotional climate, and the ambition catalyst. Okay? So the mirror effect, ever notice how you ever pick up phrases, habits, or even mannerisms from your close circle? That's the mirror effect. Over time, their qualities reflect back on you, for better or for worse. So choose people who mirror the qualities you admire and aspire to. The growth factor. The ideal top 8 aren't just cheerleaders. They're also coaches. I like to say everyone is your teacher. They might push you, question you, and make you reevaluate your path. Not to doubt yourself, but to grow stronger and more aligned with your true self. So, everyone in your life is your teacher. Yes, your friends, your family, your significant other, but especially the people that trigger you. Think about that, right? If you are triggered by someone, think about why they're triggering you. It's probably something to do with you. Look inside. Next up, the emotional climate. Emotions are contagious. The general mood, outlook, and emotional responses of your close circle can significantly influence your emotional well-being. Surround yourself with those who cultivate positivity, resilience, and genuine support. The ambition catalyst. Being around people who are driven, passionate, and actively pursuing their goals can be incredibly motivating. They remind you of what's possible and encourage you to pursue your own aspirations with vigor. Now, in that top 8, you may have a significant other. And I really want to focus on this a tad. They're also like gardens, requiring care, attention, and a whole lot of love to flourish. Having that supportive, kind, and loving presence in your life, in return, can be transformative. Imagine someone who's your cheerleader, your confidant, your rock, someone who not only believes in you more than you believe in yourself, but also challenges you to grow. This person is honest to the core, someone you trust so deeply. We're talking 100,050% trust levels here. They're the type of person who's not just present, but truly reliable. You know, the one who makes you feel like you're the most amazing person alive. And not because they're saying what you want you to hear, but because they see you. They really see you in all your multifaceted glory. And they respect you profoundly for who you are. And respect, it's a non-negotiable. They respect your thoughts, your space, your time, everything about you. Plus, they're the kind of person who goes out of their way to make your day, to make your life a little easier, a little brighter for you. But here's the wake-up call. It's not all about what you're getting from the relationship. Like a mirror, these qualities need to reflect back. You've got to be willing to build them up too. Be that pillar of honesty, trust, reliability, and respect. It's about making them feel amazing, showing up for them in the big moments and the small ones. It's about learning how your partner works. Relationships, my friends, are a two-way street. They thrive on reciprocity. It's about doing your part, pulling your weight, and then some. So if you find yourself lucky enough to have such a person in your life, cherish them, nurture that relationship, and remember, to receive love, support, and respect, you must be willing to give it in equal measure. Relationships are about giving and taking, about growing together and individually. They're about being the best version of yourself for your partner and inspiring them to do the same. In the end, the essence of a truly supportive and loving relationship is mutual growth, understanding, and an unbreakable bond formed not just by joyous moments, but by navigating challenges together. So love deeply, communicate openly, and continue to support each other's journey. After all, that's what life is all about, right? Okay, let's wade into the waters of what fills our ears and minds on a daily basis. It's like a meal, but instead of food, it's the sounds, the words, and the vibes we consume. So just as junk food can clutter up our bodies, junk noise can clutter our minds and souls. So think about it. What's on your playlist? First up, let's talk about the news. Staying informed is crucial, but in a world where the line between information and inflammation is paper thin, choosing where you get your news is key. Look for sources that aim to inform, not incite, that enlighten, not enrage, and remember, it's okay to take breaks. Now, what else do we tune into? Social media, podcasts, music, audiobooks. Each has the power to shape our mood, our thoughts, even our beliefs. So ask yourself, is what I'm looking at and listening to lifting me up or dragging me down? Is it expanding my mind or boxing it in? Is it feeding my soul or fueling my fears? Let's not forget about the power of silence too. In a world that's constantly buzzing, beeping, and blaring, silence can be golden. It's in those quiet moments that we often hear the most important messages, the ones that come from within. So here's a little challenge for you. For one day, become hyper aware of what you listen to and how it affects you. You might just find that some tunes, shows, or even social media voices aren't serving your highest good. And when you find what does uplift and inspire you, turn up the volume on that. Fill your playlist with sounds that resonate with your soul, that challenge you in the best ways, and that bring peace and positivity into your day. Be selective about what you let play in your mind. You are the DJ. Well, we've got to close things up for today. Gosh, we've unpacked the essence of wellness and happiness, highlighting two crucial choices: what we feed our bodies and the environment we cultivate around us. We explored the importance of consuming whole, real foods, the significant impact of our thoughts and our external surroundings like environment, relationships, and the media we tune into on our overall health and wellness. Remember, wellness is a deeply personal dialogue between you and your lifestyle choices. It's about being mindful of what you ingest, both physically and mentally, and the company you choose to keep. Every decision, from the food on your plate to the people in your life, shapes your journey to wellness. Next week, don't miss our special Mother's Day episode where we dive into the art of raising authentic and emotionally intelligent children. Together, we'll explore the keys to nurturing young minds to be true to themselves and wise in their emotional responses. It's a must listen for parents and guardians seeking to foster a nurturing environment. Until next time, keep growing and tuning in to the wellness dialogue within, and ask yourself that most important question from today. Are your choices enhancing your well-being or hindering it?